Starting on the back, we're going to move into bridge pose in a moment, so don't put anything under your head, but just bend your knees and bring your hands to rest on your tummy. The elbows wide, let your shoulders sink down into the ground, and let's take a moment, a couple of breaths here. Slowing down. Feel the breath flow in and out of your nose and rise and fall under your hands. Now take your time. We'll do one more breath like that. Let it take as long as it wants. And at the end of the exhalation, bring your arms down by your sides, palms down, feet nice and close to you, hip width apart. Breathe in and rock your pelvis forwards. Now as you breathe out, roll it back and rise up into your bridge, pressing down through the four corners of each foot. So you could even try there lifting your toes, but pressing down through the ball of the foot. Breathe in the bridge, and then breathe out, roll it down. So we're just going to do this a few times with the 2 feet on the ground. Rock the pelvis forwards, breathing in. Roll it back, rise on up, exhaling. Stay in the bridge as you breathe in. Roll your back down as slow as you can on the exhale. Let's go one more time just like this, moving now at your own pace. Following the rhythm of your breath, the exhalation rolls you up into bridge. You might want to get nice and high here now. As you breathe in, give yourself a little more height. And again, just slowly rolling down. We're going to bring our feet a little bit closer together. Lift the right foot off the floor. You can straighten the leg or have it a little bit bent, pointing the foot towards the sky. Breathe in, rock your pelvis forwards, and on your out breath, roll back, just pressing on the left foot. Come on up into a bridge. Now holding that bridge, breathe in. Breathe out. Feel the foot very firm on the floor here. Let's try and get a little more height as we breathe in. And really strong through your foot as you breathe out. Just going to stay for one more breath. It's really getting that left leg, the left hamstring very strong on the exhale, like you're gripping your foot towards you. One more breath in. And then we're going to roll on down slowly as we exhale. Swap the feet. Right foot on the floor, left foot towards the sky. Breathe in, breathe out, and up we come. Rolling it up on your right foot this time. Now hold it. Breathe in, breathe out. Press the right foot to the floor. Pull it towards you. Oh yes, switch on the hamstring. Can we stay for 2 more breaths? Breathe in, breathe out. Strong right leg. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Very different on the one foot. Take one more breath in and roll it on down slowly, breathing out. We're going to let both feet come to the floor again. Rock the pelvis forwards as you breathe in. And let's go on up into that bridge again, breathing out both feet this time. Take a breath in, get nice and high. Stay here, breathe out. Now pull your feet towards you, switching on both hamstrings. Take a breath. And we roll on down. Exhale. Rock your pelvis forwards as you breathe in. And this time on the exhale, the knees come into the body. Hug them in. Give yourself a little rock here. Now link your fingers around the back of your right leg, your right thigh. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Stretch it up tall. Good. Now extend your left leg down your mat ahead of you, just holding onto the back of your right leg. Breathe in, press the back of your leg into your hands. Feel the forward tilt of your pelvis. Now keep your pelvis there. Breathe out and draw your leg a tiny bit closer to you without really flattening out the waist, you know. Try again. Breathe in. Breathe out. A bit more of a stretch for the leg. Perhaps taking the hands up a bit higher. Let's go for one more breath here. And if it's too strong for your hamstring, bend your left leg. Put the left foot on the floor. Now bend this right leg, hug it in. We're going to cross it over the left leg. So lift the left foot off the floor and take both hands behind your left thigh for a supine pigeon, opening up the right hip now. So you can have a little rock side to side, or you could just draw that left leg in a bit closer as you exhale. Feel into the right hip. One more breath. And if it's available to you and it doesn't tense your shoulders, try taking your hands over your shin, over your left shin, till you really open the right hip. Good. Now let the right leg go off your left leg up to the sky once more. Keep it up there, holding your left leg now. Twirl your right foot. Yeah, just to wake up exactly your ankle, the muscles of your foot. You can go around the other way. Great. Flex it and send the leg down the mat, all the way down. Good. Now take this left leg that you're holding over to the right for a twist. So your hand, right hand on the outside of it, left hand reaches all the way back behind you. That sound came from within. Breathe into your back. Nothing else feels quite as good as a twist for the back. Drop your shoulder. Deeper breath. Left arm, left shoulder heavy. Back to the middle now, breathing in. Good, hold that left leg into you. We're going to do all that on the left side. So link your fingers behind your left leg. Right leg is long down your mat if you can. You breathe in, press the back of the leg into your hands, and then lift your foot up towards the sky. If the leg won't straighten, doesn't matter, go as far as you can. Breathe in, back of the leg into the hands, tilting the pelvis forwards. Breathe out. If possible, we bring the leg a tiny bit closer. So just listen to the hamstring. Breathe in. Breathe out. Ease it on in. Might feel very different to the other leg. Let's stay for one more breath. Now bend it. Hold it into you. And cross it now over your right leg. Bring the right leg in towards you. Take your hands around the back of your right leg. So you've got to bring your left hand in between the two. Catch a hold of the back of your right thigh. Now breathe here. Do you want to rock side to side or a little bit in and out? Bringing that right leg in deeper on an exhale until you feel nice satisfying sensation in your left hip. So if you're not there yet, and there's not a lot going on in the hip, through your right shin. Stay with your breath. Let's stay for one more breath. We can be inclined to tense the shoulders here. Just watch out for that. As you breathe out, let them drop. And keep a hold of your right leg. Let the left leg go off it up to the sky. Keep it up there now. And circle your foot. So you're pointing, you're flexing, you're rolling that foot around from the ankle joint to go around the other way. Lovely. Now flex it. Heel to the sky. And send the leg down the mat now. All the way down. Let's bring the right leg over for a twist. Left hand on the outside of your knee. Bring the foot forwards under the knee. Right hand opens back behind. Breathe. And notice how this feels. Go inside. One more breath. To the center. Hug the leg in. Let's bring the other one in as well. A little rock on your back, hugging both legs into you. And then we'll roll up to a cross leg position. So perhaps cross the ankles, hold the back of your knees, and try and roll on up. Now, crossing the legs. So have your legs a little bit ahead of you. Try and cross your shins more so than your ankles. Breathe in, sit up tall, flex your toes. And let's ease on forwards. Okay, so bring your hands out a little bit ahead of you. Breathe here. Breathe into those hips, drop your head. Walk the hands over one direction. So you're kind of folding over one leg more than the other. And then take that fold over the other leg. Just walk the hands across. Breathe here. But now to the middle. And drop in. And come up on an inhale. And for symmetry, we're going to change the cross of the legs, bring the other one in front. So try and give yourself a little gap between the legs and the hips, a little triangle of mat there. Go ahead and fold forward. So again, just be careful that you're not like, crossing your ankles in close to you. You're going to lose a lot of what you could be feeling here. Try to move the feet forwards, move them away from each other a little bit. Curl the toes towards each other. As you flex your feet, that's going to lift the ankle bone a little away from the floor, which is more comfortable too. Let's take it over towards one side. So just a little bit off center. Breathe. Hands to the earth if you can. One more breath here. And then over the other way. Stay here, one more breath. Into the middle. Last breath. Can you bow down a little deeper? Mind the knees. Come on up. Breathe in. So when I say mind the knees, I really mean if there's tweaking sensation in the knees, you got to back off a bit. Let's go to our hands and knees because we're trying to work into the hips. And if they're doing all they can, then the knees try to help. They're not made for that. So hands under your shoulders. We're going to move into cat and cow just to begin. Head up, tailbone lifting, and then rounding the back, coiling in, cat pose. Let's go with that a couple of times. Bring a little sway to your hips if that feels good. It might just start to happen naturally. Moving from one to the other with your breath, your pace. Now, instead of just up and down, let's start to kind of circle around through the ribs. So we're moving into cat and cow, but we're opening up into the sides of the rib cage, the sides of the back. So we move across, around, and down. So try the other way. See if you can feel almost like your rib cage, your upper back is drawing a circle, moving in a circle. It's really trying to mobilize the sides, little corners of your back. Let's go one more time around the other way. Now, letting go of this movement, bring your hands forwards, your knees back. We're going to come to our Anahatasana, or kneeling heart opener, shoulder opener. So as we exhale, we're pulling the hips back a little. Keep your arms strong, your hands firm. Bow a little bit through the upper back. Take one more breath and round your back. Come up away from the floor as you breathe in. And let's ease on in a little deeper. Don't press through your shoulders. Get long and gently bow. Elbows on the earth, shift into a forearm plank. Now you could do this on your knees. If you can lift the knees and be on your toes, go for it. So you could try on your toes, and if you think, no, that's showing up on my back, I'm not able, put your knees down then. So you're nice and long from the elbows to the knees. Strong and steady through the middle. Hold it. Shift your right hand across towards your left elbow. You might make a fist with that right hand. So you made an L shape with your arms. Heels to the right now. Side plank. Lift the left hand up. Now, again, if that's too strong, we're going to just drop, in this case, the right knee to the floor. Okay? Strong through the core. Lift through the side waist. Head back in line. And the arm as well, not throwing you off, not leaning too far back. Hold it, breathe. I know you didn't see that coming. Let's go around the other way. So we switch over, put the left forearm down, sort of across your right forearm, shift your heels other way, and the right hand to the sky. So be careful. We're very inclined to chuck that behind us, push it forwards a bit. Now head back a bit. Breathe. Listen to your left shoulder. If it's too much, put the left knee down. Take another breath. And breathe out. Turn it around back to our forearm plank. Let's hold it for a second now. Breathe in. And breathe out, legs down to the earth. Good. Palms flat. Upward puppy. Breathe in. Dragging the arms energetically towards you. Open the chest. Breathe out. Let's come on down. Make a pillow with your hands. Put your forehead there. Breathe in. Lift into locust. Legs long and strong. Hold it here. Exhale. Stay right here. Or let the hands move away from your forehead now. Pointing your fingers forwards. L shape with the arms. Breathe here. You want to go a little bit further. Extend your fingers forwards. Straightening the arms if you can. Strong legs. One more breath. Breathe out. Bring your hands down under your shoulders. Tuck your elbows in. Hug them in. Ready for cobra. Legs down. Rise up. Inhale. Elbows in. Shoulders back. And lift through the middle. Let's go back to downward dog. Breathing here. Shift the weight from one foot to the other, one hand to the other. Little sway through your hips. And then find the center. Take a breath. Walk your hands back towards you till you're right on your feet. Hands to your shins. Slide them up to the shins. Breathe in, lift halfway. Now breathe out, fall down, drop. Hang the head, hang the arms. Take a breath, Uttanasana. And we'll take our hands behind, interlacing the fingers, rest the hands against the sacrum for a moment, the base of your spine. And then let's see, will we lift our hands up, off the back? Oh, how's that for your shoulders? Breathe here. One more breath. Now let it go. Bend your knees. Chair pose. Deep bend in your knees. Free your hands forwards, upwards, high as you can. Hold it. Hang here in chair pose, like someone's holding your fingers and you're sitting a little deeper. Breathe in. Don't strain the neck. Breathe out. Drop a little deeper. One more breath in. Breathe out, fold it in. Hands to the earth, hips to the sky, drop your head. Walk on out on your hands, finding your downward dog again. Be here. Good. Now, bring your feet together. Lift your right leg up and just take your time now, an extra breath. Bend your knee, open your hip, heel to the left a little bit. Take a nice big breath in, space in the right hip. Bring your foot forwards between your hands. Bring the back knee down. Let's take a breath here. Long exhale. And now we're going to turn to the left. So walk your hands to the left. And as you go, lift up that back foot and spin it around behind your knee so it's across your mat. Bring your left hand to the back of your mat and your right foot, just pivot that foot so the toes point to the side of your mat as well. We're going to straighten the right leg and reach the right arm overhead. Now, if that feels very intense, close the gap a little bit between your knee and your foot, or try placing your left hand on a block. Okay, so you might just move your hand further away, slide your foot a bit closer, whatever you got to do there. Okay. Breathe. So a little pulsation here, a softening through the hips as you exhale, expanding as you inhale. One more breath in. You're ready to take that breath in, expand, open. Now as you exhale, soften so much that you can sort of sit back, come around, hands to the top of your mat again. Wiggle your foot out your way so that your hands can be inside it. Get down low through your hips. Now we're going to take our front foot across to the left for pigeon. So heel toe your foot across towards the left side of your mat and then come down gently onto the outside of the leg. Now you can make a kind of a right angle with that front leg or bring the heel a little bit closer to you to close the angle around the knee a little bit. We're moving into pigeon with the right foot forwards. So the weight down on the right side of your hip and the left leg extending back behind you. Stay up on your fingertips. Find the correct angle for your front leg so that there's no tweaking in your front knee. Now go to your breath. Lift the chest. Fingertips perched on the ground. Breathe into the right hip. Let's stay with it now for another moment. Now bring it on back into downward dog. Okay, so as we go, we're going to lift that right leg up. We're going to bend the knee, open the hip, and then put the foot down. Let's come on forwards into plank on the hands here now. Hold it. Breathe out, lower it on down. Raise up. Inhale. Open. Downward dog. Exhale. Now feet together. We'll lift our left leg up, open the hip, bending the knee, hold it, breathe in, step the foot through now as you breathe out, back knee comes down. Good, take a breath. And we turn right. So breathing out, we're bringing the hands around, spin the foot behind your knee, put your right hand on the ground at the back of the mat. Now we're going to straighten the left leg, toes point to the edge of your mat here. Lift that left arm overhead. So remember, if that feels a bit too intense, just shift your knee a little bit closer to your foot. Try that. Breathe in. As you breathe out, soften a little bit through the middle, almost sitting back a little. Breathing and moving with that breath. One more breath. Big expansion. Back around. Let's go to the top of the mat. So move the foot out of your way. Move your hands inside your foot. And we're here in this low lunge. This is what I was trying to do on the other side. I'm not sure when you stopped being able to hear me. So here we are now on the left. We're going to move our foot over a bit towards the right. Just heel toe it over to the right. Maybe down a bit closer to you. And now we come down to pigeon. Outside that leg. That feels good. Okay, we're staying upright. Propped up on your fingertips. Easing the weight down through that hip. What are we holding on to in our hips? Breathe into that. Stay for 2 more breaths. One more, nice and slow. Strong back leg. Ready? Downward dog. And then just free that left leg up to the sky. Open your hip. Good. Pop that foot on the floor. One last connecting vinyasa. Let's go forwards. Plank pose. Lowering as we exhale, chaturanga. Rising as we inhale. Downward dog. Walk it on up, halfway up your mat. Take your feet almost as wide as your mat. Turn them out and let's come to a squat. So go easy. Let's see. Shift it side to side. Yeah. Just easing out the hips a little bit more, the inner hip, inner thigh. Last breath here now. Let's make our way down to the floor. We'll come onto the back. So let's stretch the legs out long. Let's do it right. Arms out ahead of us. Breathe in. Breathe out. Roll on down. Rounding your back as you go. Arms overhead. Big breath in. Gather your knees into you now. Breathing out. Put your left foot on the floor. Wrap your right leg over the top, closing the thighs together. Let's bring the arms out wide. Breathe in. Lift the hips a little bit to the right and then drop your legs to the left. So twisting here, we might put our left hand on the top leg. Leave the right arm back behind you. Breathe. We're going to come back to the middle. Straighten things up. Change the legs. Left over the right now. So before you drop your legs to the right, just lift your hips a fraction to the left. And off you go. Dropping the legs over to the right. Maybe your right hand finds that top leg and gives it a little weight. Breathe. Last breath. And come back. Straighten it up. Good, bring the knees in. Now, happy baby. And then we're going to drop it on down to the floor. You could roll to your side to gather your cushions, your blankets for Shavasana. Or if you don't need anything, you're happy as you are, just stretch it on out. Legs on the earth, hip width apart, arms wide of your body. And let go. Right now, as you find your place, feel yourself drop into that support. Noticing the parts of your body that are somehow connected to the earth. Give yourself space to relax and open. So arms a good bit away from the sides. If you can, the palms face up. The legs releasing from your hip sockets, rolling a little bit away from each other. Lengthen the back of your neck. And drop now the weight of your head into the floor. Feel that contact between the back of the body and the floor. Drop into it and let the breath flow. As you drop more and more, I always feel like this is just like floating. If you hold yourself up, everything gets heavy. The more you trust that you're held, the more you relax, the lighter you feel, especially the head. And you kind of feel like you've let go, but then stay with the feeling. Keep encouraging your head, your body to relax, to let go, and a little more happens. There's a little bit that didn't believe you. And gradually it starts to happen. Feel the lightness of the front of the body. And let the gentle movement of your breath draw you in. Feel it from the inside, wherever you can. Feel the breath moving inside. Don't do the breathing, don't change it, just be with it. Your mind wanders away, just guide it back. There's your breath. And take a deeper breath in. And as you breathe it out, bring the back of your waist towards the floor, roll your kneecaps towards the ceiling. Hold your pelvis steady and drag the legs in, placing each foot in turn. That's it, roll over to your side. And we will come up. Find a seat. Turn the palms to face up. Just close the eyes for a moment. Notice how you feel. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. And bring to mind what it is or who it is that you feel grateful for today. Let's breathe in, stretch up to the sky. Breathe out, draw your hands together down to the wisdom center, the heart center, and the earth. Namaste.